This video is brought to you by Surfshark. All right, I've got a lot of Trump voters on my ass right now, and I'm gonna use this video to officially respond and push back. It's gonna get fun because overnight, a clip of me debating a MAGA politician went viral, both in liberal spheres and MAGA spheres, and a lot of Trump supporters aren't happy with me. I mean, read some of these replies. One person said, "You're a clown if you actually believe you won that exchange." The next person said, "You sound dumb, lol." Then, "You lost that argument. You got slammed." Someone said, "Your rebuttal was garbage truck juice." What does that even mean? Someone said, "No, it's because you're gay and I'll actually push back on half of that. I'm not gay. I exclusively date women, but I do want to use this video to show you these clips. Show me debating this MAGA politician, and then push back on some of the Trump supporters in the replies who are being super, super dumb. I mean, check out this clip of me debating MAGA politician Rob Astorino. Their populist message right now really could appeal to a lot of people. Bernie's been doing this billionaire thing for years, right? The billionaires. We need to get the billionaires out of here. And now there are actual billionaires walking around the White House in the form of Elon Musk and even our president, most people in Donald Trump's cabinet. So there's a reality where Bernie Sanders and AOC keep hammering home this billionaire populist message, and it resonates with a lot of American people.
As George Soros keeps writing checks.
I mean, George Soros isn't walking around the White House like Elon Musk is running cabinet meetings. Has George Soros ever run a cabinet meeting or formed a department of any sort?
Basically, because his puppet Joe Biden, his puppet Kamala Harris, and all his other puppets are where they're supposed to be, according to George Soros' plan.
You do have to follow the money, and if you did, you might run into...
Okay, I actually think that was a good question on my end. I say, has George Soros ever directly run a cabinet meeting? And this guy is so dumb that he goes, "Well, sort of, if you follow the money to blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, so he hasn't. So he has never done that. And Trump supporters online jumped on that. One person in the reply said, "You understand that more billionaires supported Kamala versus Trump, right? You do know that Kamala had 3 times the spend for her campaign than Trump, overspray the budget while all her campaign was half the length of Trump's. Your words don't match reality." This dude is so dumb. My point went right over his head. It's not about who has more billionaires on their side. It's about the raw power that one single billionaire holds. Elon Musk controls so much power and attention and controls so much media through his ownership of X and through his wealth that he holds a disproportionate amount of power. No other billionaire holds this amount of power, and even if they did, no other billionaire is really willing to openly wield the power like Elon Musk has. So when Elon Musk is leading cabinet meetings, to bring it back to what I was saying here, when Elon Musk is leading cabinet meetings, then yeah, we're gonna push back. I mean, watch this spat one more time.
As George Soros keeps writing checks.
I mean, George Soros isn't walking around the White House like Elon Musk is running cabinet meetings. Has George Soros ever run a cabinet meeting or formed a department of any sort?
Basically, because his puppet Joe Biden, his puppet Kamala Harris, and all his other puppets are where they're supposed to be, according to George Soros.
This dude actually sounds just dumb. I'm not trying to be mean, but he actually sounds dumb when he brings up George Soros and spreads those conspiracy theories as a 60-year-old dude who should probably know better at this point. And the reason why none of these comments bother me when people say, "You sound dumb, you got slammed," is because I know what they believe. And I know that their beliefs are warped. If you guys have ever seen Rick and Morty, there's a quote where Rick says, "Your boos mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer." That's how I feel about Trump supporters. I've seen what makes them cheer. These people think the election was stolen and are genuinely racist. So it's like, why would I care if they think my argument was bad? But watch the main clip that went viral. This clip currently has a few 100,000 views, and MAGA supporters are not happy. I'll break down after some of the insane reactions they had, but check out this. All right, I just went on a right-wing news network and kind of blew up the entire panel by attacking Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Watch how it unfolds. It's hilarious.
Kind of goes back to what we were just talking about, you know, millionaires or billionaires that, you know, they're clearly in both parties. We saw almost all of Hollywood come out in support of Kamala Harris last election cycle here. And Adam, you want to talk about relatability? I mean, do Democrats have a problem with that on their side?
I mean, the degree between George Clooney, I bet you he donated a few $1 million, and Elon Musk buying the platform of Twitter, rebranding it to X, and then leveraging that platform to then spread right-wing propaganda. And then on the top of that, on the back of that, donating what? hundreds of millions of dollars to the campaign. You're not telling me George Clooney donated hundreds of millions of dollars. But I want to ask Rob a question, because Trump, after George Clooney did this, wrote this long Truth Social post, like basically a temper tantrum. Does it not concern you all that the President of the United States is currently whining about George Clooney and a portrait of himself rather than actually, I don't know, helping the American people? He's got 2 peace deals falling through right now, and our president is tweeting about a portrait of himself. Does it not concern you?
Let's see. Biden left this country in an absolute and utter mess, which is why
I asked about Trump.
He didn't run, because his numbers were horrible, and Kamala Harris lost.
I asked about Trump.
All the ideas that they're espousing was a disgrace. Trump is actually fixing the economy. Trump is actually dealing with Ukraine and Russia, which Biden would have let go forever and gave hundreds of millions of dollars. So he's actually dealing with these issues, and the American people, including immigration, are cheering him on. So, yeah, if he wants to do a tweet every now and then, I'm fine with that, because he's cleaning up the mess. He's actually getting this country back on the right track.
He's cleaned up the mess so well that his unpredictable tariff policies have made even Jamie Dimon come out and say, dude, we need more certainty. It's made the S&P 500 fall, and the GDP might contract for the first quarter, according to the Atlanta Fed. So, yeah, he's really cleaning up the mess.
All right, final thoughts to Rob, and then we got to go.
Markets are doing very well right now on the heels of the recent.
He's been in office 8 weeks. 8 weeks. Joe Biden had 4 years and created the biggest mess this country's seen in a long time. I don't think he gets an A yet. He gets an incomplete. He's only been in 8 weeks, but so far the American people said, keep doing what you're doing.
All right.
He said day one. He said day one.
Adam Mockler.
At the end, I point out Trump did say day one, and now they're moving the goalpost back and saying, hey, it's been 8 weeks. Just because he hasn't gotten the ceasefires and the economic accomplishments he's promised doesn't mean that he sucks. And I want to go over this debate and some of the responses. Someone said, how old are you, you Marxist communist dipshit? What is your grand plan to fix the economy then? I don't know, maybe keep the steady hand that Biden had and continue Biden's economic policies. My plan would be to not shake up the economy with unpredictable tariff policies. He then says, import millions of brown-skinned immigrants to further destroy the base of this country. Wow, just blatant racism. You piss and moan about rich people not paying their share. That's a pretty sad argument. I never even used that argument, but a lot of people were criticizing me, saying that I should have pushed back when he began to attack Biden. What you need to understand here is that these segments on TV are about 4 minutes max. They will try to use slippery tactics to pull you down a rabbit hole and get you to argue other things. If I would have spent all of my time, and my time's like 45 seconds to speak, just defending Biden, how am I at all progressing our agenda? I mean, as much as I hate to say this, Biden is now sort of old news. Like I will defend him at some point, but at this very moment in time, we should not be focusing on the past administration. We need to be focusing on how we can stop the Trump admin, take them down a peg, spread our message, and make sure that he has checks on him. Why would I spend my entire segment defending Biden? A lot of people, I got an email yesterday that was like, Adam, I really didn't enjoy your Newsmax segment because you didn't push back on the Biden segment. And it's like, you don't understand, the 30-second window that I have can't be spent on Biden. Now, someone else said, the S&P falls after every election, but you are way too young to know what presidential changeovers do to economies. It takes time for the transition, no matter who takes office. I find that so incredibly condescending, but also just wrong. I said in response, this is blatantly false. And this is a chart showing how the S&P 500 is moved at the start of each Trump presidency. During his first term, off the back of Obama's economy, the S&P 500 continued to skyrocket very, very cleanly. Now, in Trump's second term, with his unpredictable tariff policies, you see the S&P 500, boop, 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 rapidly falling. So yeah, it kind of feels like the idea that every single presidential transition hurts the S&P 500 is just false cope that Trump supporters are using. Look at how these people warp and distort reality. They will say the S&P 500 always falls, when that is not the case. I'm gonna leave it there. If you enjoy watching me spar with Trump supporters, not only on TV, but on Twitter, drop a like, subscribe. People always say, Adam, I thought I was subscribed, but I never actually scrolled down and clicked that button. So it's free, it would help a lot. I love you all, I'll see you in the next video, and peace out. And really quickly, I recently put my phone number into an online website while signing up for a service, and I was flooded with random spam calls, shady messages. I literally keep getting this limited time car warranty scam that will not quit. And that's where today's sponsor, Surfshark, comes in. Surfshark has a game-changing service named the Alternative Number, and Surfshark also allows me to make these videos. So here's the deal. This feature gives you a separate new phone number to use when signing up for stuff online, or whether you're ordering food or booking reservations, or even if you're doing online dating. Whatever you're doing online, you will have a privacy shield that keeps your actual number safe from scammers, safe from spam and identity thieves and all the people out there trying to get you, trying to steal your information. And if you think phone scams are just a small occasional annoyance, you need to realize that Americans have lost $40 billion over the past year on phishing scams. That's 40 billion with a B. So with Alternative Number, if you start to get spammed, no problem. You just swap your number out, and that's why you should use Surfshark. Right now, Surfshark will give you 4 extra months for free if you just go to surfshark.com/Mockler. It's in the description below. That is surfshark.com/Mockler. Again, go in the description and click the link of surfshark.com/Mockler, and you'll get a few free months. Thank you guys, and thank you to Surfshark.